let D is the subset of R2 and one point is given in R2 x0 comma y0. The meaning of this notation is that it is a ball with center at x0 comma y0, radius r, and from that disk, if it is in R2 it is disk, x0 comma y0 is the center, r is the radius. Then remove this point, that means you remove the center point, and that then this point is called limit point, and we are finding the limit on in this domain. That means for limit is not required that the function must be defined at that point. We are finding the value. So like we have seen in sequence case, is something similar to happen in case of limit or not. If it is happen, then finding limit is also very easy. Like finding sequence means take a individual sequence, find the limit of that sequence, you will get the sequence will converge to 0 comma 0. If one is not converging, that means whole sequence is divergent. So it's something similar to that will happen in case of limit or not. So let us see by one example. So what I want to say. Suppose you want to calculate the limit of this xy goes to 0 comma 0. This is limit in two variable and the function definition is given x minus y divided by x plus y. So can anyone guess what will be the limit of this? Can anyone tell what will be the limit of this function?
So it is coming 0 by 0. Can we use
Yeah, it is coming 0 by 0 then.
L'Hopital rule? 1 minus y dy by dx.
So what is your final answer?
Is it 1, sir?
It is 1. Someone is saying 1. So I will write all possible answer.
-1. 0.
0, 1, minus 1. So I will write all answer 0, 1. Someone is saying even -1 also.
Minus.
Yeah, other than these three, anyone want to say some other answer? So we have seen the definition by actual definition, epsilon delta definition anyway we will do, but for the timing, what I want to say that for sequence, if you find a individual limit of the sequence, you will get the answer. The question is that is something similar to that will happen in case of limit or not. So what I mean is, like if you calculate this x tending to 0, limit y tending to 0 of this function, like individual we are calculating first with respect to y, or we can do like this. Because we know how to calculate the limit when in one variable, like when x goes to something or y goes to something, we know all those rules. So if this will work, then we can apply those rules and we can find the limit also. So in the first case, what will be the limit? First apply limit y tends to 0, what you will get? If I will apply y tends to 0, we'll get x by x, and x by x is 1, so limit is 1. First we'll calculate this, after that we'll apply the limit. In this case,
-1.
yeah, it will give minus y by y, and we are getting -1. So what will be the answer of this limit? So both are giving the different limit. Like in terms of sequence, we found in 1 by n going to 0, 1 by n square going to 0. So overall sequence is going to 0 by 0. So can we do something similar to that? Like we can find first x limit and y limit. So here in this case, both are giving the different answer. So it is clear that if limit exists, it will be always unique. Like this definition, if limit exists, it is something else. It cannot be something plus minus 1. So definitely individual we cannot do, like whatever we know previously, like whatever you know, all the method you know about the limit, all are will not going to work. Like L'Hopital rule gone, it will not work because y tending to 0, x tending to 0, and even if you are saying we can differentiate, till now you don't know how to differentiate this function. You know that till now I didn't discuss also, and even you also don't know, till now you didn't learn how to differentiate in multivariable. So from this example it is clear that individual whatever theory or whatever so far we learn about limit, all are going not to work in this case. And it is also one question is that this limit is equal to this or not, or under what condition all three are equivalent or equal. So we'll see all those things later. So first we'll go to actual definition, that is the epsilon definition, and by using this definition we'll do some example to show something has some limit or not. This function also will do it has a limit or not. If it is has the limit, then what is the limit, that also we will see. So this is the example.
Sir,
Yes.
so can
Yes.
you explain that the definition part again?
The definition, like it is similar to the previous definition, like in one variable. So I will write the one variable case also, so that you will easily able to like limit x goes to x naught, f of x equal to L. What is the definition of that limit? So I am going to write here exactly same definition.
Mod of f of x minus L less
Yeah,
than
mod of
epsilon.
fx minus L
L
is
less than
epsilon
epsilon.
whenever 0 this mod of x minus x naught is less than delta, right? But
Yes,
in
sir.
this case the function is fxy, limit is L. Here function is fx, limit is L, so we are writing fx minus L. So similarly here we are writing fxy minus L is less than epsilon
Yes, sir. Thank you.
whenever
Sir,
this difference is less than delta. But here the difference in two variable we can find the distance by using norm. So that's why norm of this minus this is less than delta. Yes.
here fxy minus L, where we not use norm, where use we will use
Yeah.
mod.
So it is clear that if you are in more than two variable, like if you are in R real number, how you will find the distance? You will use mod if it is a
Yes.
real number. If it is R2, R3, 3 dimension, 4 dimension, then you will use norm. So it is not in, it is in the real number. This fxy will take some value. It is a real number. L is also
Yes,
a
sir.
real number. So that's why it is mod.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here it is function in two variable. Limit of function to it is R2 to R. That function f is from R2 to R. Like see this range.
Yes, sir.
This functional value is real number. Like it will go in the real number because image is going real number. If it is more than R, then we can put norm also here.
So always here fxy is something real number, not R2
No,
or
not
R3.
always,
Yes, sir.
not always.
Always,
Here
no,
first,
but in this case, when
yeah,
range is
in
R.
this case we are defining when it is a real valued means several variable function, then only we are defining the limit. If it is a vector valued, then we'll
The
define
norm
here
may be used.
norm, then we'll put norm here also. If it is R2 or R3, even Rn, then we'll put norm. But in this
Yes, sir.
case, it is mod. So now we'll show that this limit is 0 by using epsilon delta definition. So first I will write the definition, means like what fxy is this one, this is L. So mod of fxy minus L, this is less than epsilon. We have to show that whenever x minus y minus 0 comma 0, this norm is less than delta, and this is greater than 0, that means this point cannot be equal to 0 comma 0. So first I will simplify this and then we'll see this, then we'll find the delta. The question is find the delta like we are finding in the previous, similar, exactly similar to that. So the distance between these two will give x minus 0. If you take the difference, it will give x minus 0 comma y minus 0, this norm, and that norm is nothing but the square root of x square plus y square is less than delta. So from here we got the square root of x, this is square root of x square plus y square is less than delta. Now we'll see this one, 4xy square divided by x square plus y square minus 0, this is equal to, so now we have to write something it is less than this. So here what we can do is this square root of x square plus y square, is it always greater than mod x or not?
Yes, sir.
So here these inequalities are very popular, this mod x, mod y, this mod x and mod y, both will be less than this number. This is one type of inequality, is very useful. Another one is the arithmetic mean and geometric mean. Arithmetic mean is always greater than geometric mean. So can we say something about mod of xy and xy, any relation? Is there any relation between this and this?
So mod x plus mod y by 2 is greater than equals to root over of x square plus y.
Yeah, so if we will take x square and y square, then arithmetic mean of this will be x square plus y square by 2, and geometric mean will be square root of x square into y square. So what will be the correct inequality? Mod of xy and x square plus y square. Like arithmetic mean is always bigger than geometric mean. So can I write 2 times this is always less than x square plus y square?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here see
Yes.
xy is there, x square plus y square is there, all are there. So this 2 is sufficient. Or here I will not use all those things because here I am going to use something else. So this y square divided by x square plus y square, is it less than 1?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
mod, whatever we want to do, this is less than mod of 4x only, because that quantity is less than 1. So we will get 4 times mod of x. Now we have to choose something like this is less than delta. So from this result, this is less or equal to, definitely, because here mod x is there. So we can write here mod x. So mod x is always less than delta. Even mod y is always less than delta. So this is less than 4 delta. And which is less than epsilon. So what is the value of delta? Delta you can epsilon by 4. So what? So if you choose delta equal to epsilon by 4 or less than epsilon by 4, then this inequality will be less than epsilon whenever norm of x minus y is less than delta. Exactly same thing whatever we are doing in the previous case. So here mod of x is less than delta, so I use here less than delta, so which we can write, and this we have to show it is less than epsilon for what delta. If you choose delta is less than epsilon by 4, then 4 delta is always less than epsilon. That means that this delta will work. So this limit exists and it is 0. Is it
Can you
clear to
please
everyone?
explain once again? No, sir. Can you explain from that mod?
See here we have to show fx minus y is less than epsilon. For that we need to choose a delta. So epsilon is a positive quantity that is given, and I want to apply this definition. So epsilon is anyway positive quantity. So if you solve this, you will get this one. If you simplify this, you will get this quantity. From here, y square by x square plus 1, this is less than 1. So this is less than 4 mod of 4x.
How,
That is 4 mod
sir,
x. So now
sir, y
what?
square by x square plus y square is how less than 1?
Yeah, how it is less than 1? Okay, see y square by y square is 1 or not?
Yes, sir.
If you add something in the denominator, it will be less than or equal to 1, because x square is, if x square is 0, then it is 1. If x square is more than, because x square is always greater than 0. If you
Yes,
add
sir.
something, then it will always
Yes,
less than 1. So that
yes,
means
sir.
it is 4 mod x. So now we stuck up to here. So in this there is a relation between this and this, because mod this is always less than, or this x square plus y square, this is greater than this quantity. So we can write even del square here. So it is less than mod x. So from here mod x is less than delta. So now I put it is replaced by less than delta. If it is not, if you are not able to find any relation from here, then we'll do the like we are doing in the previous. We'll assume something mod of x is less than something 1, then we'll take minimum of that. That also we can do. So the next example we'll do like that only. So from this it is the limit exists and it is 0. So like here epsilon is delta is epsilon by 4. Now we'll do this example. Again, we'll do the same thing. Mod of 3xy minus 6. This we have to show that this is less than epsilon. Epsilon is positive quantity. And this norm of x comma y minus 1 comma 2, this is less than delta. So we have to find the delta. So from this, if you solve, you will get x minus 1 comma y minus 2, this norm, and which is nothing but square root of x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2. That means the distance between these 2 points is less than delta. Again, from the same logic, this is less than mod of, so that means mod of x minus 1 is less than delta, and mod of y minus 2 is less than delta. So from here, always do up to this. Like in any question, if you want to use epsilon delta, solve the limit, and you will get in terms of mod of x minus 1 is less than delta, mod of y minus 2 is less than delta. Now if you solve this mod and try to make some x minus 1 and x minus 2, because once x minus 1 and some y minus 2 will come, we can replace by delta. Like in the previous example, here mod x came, so I replace by mod x is delta. So now here in this mod, can you tell me how to make some x minus 1 or y minus 2? Like I have to add some term so that x minus 1 will come or something y minus 2 will come. Anyway, 3 is common here, so I will take common 3. It is written xy minus 2. So now I want something either x minus 1, y minus 2, or both you can make, so you can make. So tell me how to make y minus 2.
Sir, add and subtract y.
Plus 2y minus 2y.
Add and subtract y.
Add and subtract y. Okay, so I will add and subtract y. So I am adding y, I am subtracting y, because I want either x minus 1 or y minus 2. So from here, in this one, if you take y common, it will give x minus 1. So I took y common, it is giving x minus 1 plus y minus 2. So I got x minus 1, I got y minus 2. Even if you get only x minus 1, that is also sufficient, because it will give delta. If you will get only 1 minus 2, that is also sufficient. Here we got x minus 1 also, y minus 2, and some extra mod y also we got. So that is not a big problem, we can easily do. So how we'll do? So this is equal, up to this is equal. So now which is less or equal to, so if you break the mod, it will come mod y mod x minus 1 plus mod y minus 2 by triangle inequality. Up to this is fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I couldn't get that last step, sir.
Okay. This last step. So this 3 is also here. See, if a plus b mod, can we write it is less or equal to mod a plus mod b? That I used. That is called triangle inequality. Mod of a plus b is always less than mod a plus mod b.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So this is a, this is b. So this mod is always less than this mod plus this mod. Because 3 is there, so I multiply by 3. So now this x minus 1, if suppose this mod y is not present, then we can easily put delta and we can get epsilon. Sorry, this delta value in terms of epsilon. But here mod y is there extra. Right? So that also we want to approximate. So for that we can assume, like we are assuming in the previous case. So I'm assuming here, assume, because I want to approximate y, this is less than 1. Sorry, this y minus 2. So this y minus 2, if we assume it is less than 1, suppose here some x terms are there, or x square is left, x cube is there, any term of xy is there, even product of xy, anything is there except these two. Or if, then you can assume this is less than 1 or this is less than 1. And from this, what is the value of y? So we can approximate this mod y. So what is the value of y when y mod of y minus 2 is less than 1? That means y lies between. So y minus 2 is less than 1. That means y lies between. This side is 3 and this side is minus 1. Sorry, minus 1 plus 1.
1, sir.
Yeah, so it is lies between 1 and 3. So now we can write it is less than this y I am putting 3 because its maximum value is 3. So this will give 9. These terms will not touch because we know these terms are less than. So now we'll put it is delta. So it will give 9 delta plus something 3 delta. So total 12 delta, which is less than epsilon. So the value of delta will come epsilon by 12. So the final answer will be, it is minimum of 1, this one, and epsilon by 12. So the final answer will be, delta will be minimum of 1 comma epsilon by 12. So this is the final answer.
Sir, why assume that it is less than 1? Instead of
Yeah.
1, we take another number also.
Yeah, we can, even if you don't, yeah, you can assume it is less than 2, less than 3, whatever you want, you can assume, provided that this range should not be negative. Here there is no problem with the negative also. So you can assume it is less than 2 also, then here you have to write 2 comma minimum, whatever here it will come.
Sir,
Yes.
in that final statement, delta should be less than minimum of 1 and epsilon by 12, I think.
Yes. Yeah, less than, even this delta also will work, even less than also will work. You have to give only one delta. So now this finding limit or showing the limit in two variable or multivariable, this is the only way to prove. This is the only way. That means there does not exist any other method which you can apply. You have to do only epsilon delta definition. But if you want to show that limit does not exist, there are a lot of methods to show that limit does not exist. But to show limit exists, this is the only method. The reason is why this is the only method, because in suppose two variable, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and you have point, suppose here 1 comma 2, and you want to show that limit xy goes to this. What happen in the real case? Suppose this is the point 2. So what you will do, you will say this left hand limit, right hand limit, both are equal, limit exist, because there are only two direction possible. So here how many direction? This limit, even this side. So there are infinitely many direction. All should be equal, then only you will say that limit exists. But all direction you cannot prove. In the real you can prove left hand limit and right hand limit both are equal. Okay, then limit exists. But here how many direction? Infinitely many direction. Even this is also one direction. This is, I'm moving like this and I reach to here. So this is also one direction. All are converging to 1 comma 2. So showing limit exists by left hand limit and right hand limit is also not working in multivariable, because there are infinitely many directions. Is that clear? So like that we cannot say left hand limit and right hand limit both are equal, so limit exists. So that also will not work in this case. So only method is applicable here is the epsilon delta definition. But if you want to show that limit does not exist, that means you can choose two different paths, like this path or this path. If both have different limit, you will say limit does not exist, because to exist limit all will give the same answer. Like whatever direction you will go, it will give the same answer. But if it is not exist, that means two different paths will give different answer. You will say limit does not exist. So that way we can show that limit does not exist.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how can we find the limit? Means here it is given as 6 and we are proving, but if it is not given, then how can we find?
Yeah, so if it is given 6, you can easily see what you will do here. 1 and 2 you will put. If you will get something, then you can prove. That is the only way. Or you can guess this is the limit. If it will satisfy that epsilon delta definition, then only you will say that is the limit.
Also suppose it is means in 0 by 0 form or infinite by infinite.
Yeah, then you have to guess what will be the limit. There is no other option. If limit exists, you cannot say that it is that one. By using that definition, you have to do.
Yes.
If limit doesn't exist, there are three methods. The first method is the sequential criteria. Like two different sequence you consider. This limit exists xn and yn. There are two sequence goes to x0 comma y0, and its limit is also is the same number for all sequence. For all sequence, then we'll say that limit
Your
exists.
voice is breaking.
But for all sequence, yeah, now it's fine.
Yes, sir.
So here I am saying that limit does not exist. These are some criteria. So what is the sequential criteria? Says that xy sequence goes to some sequence. If you construct, it will goes to x0 comma y0. Then the value of fxy on that sequence will be L. Like if limit exists, it will always L. Like if xn comma yn goes to x0 comma y0, then f of xn comma yn will also goes to L for all sequence. If limit exists, then for all sequence limit will be unique, but that we cannot prove for all sequence. So what this criteria will help us to prove limit does not exist. We'll take two sequence and we'll get both the sequence is giving different limit. That means limit does not exist. So this criteria is criteria for non-existence of limit. To prove limit exists, you cannot use sequential criteria, because for all sequence you cannot. Here written for every sequence, that you cannot prove. So what you can prove, you just take two different sequence, apply limit, and if you get two different answer, then you will say limit does not exist. The another criteria to show that limit does not exist in multivariable or several variable is the path test. Path test means you choose two different path, and based on those path, if you get different limit, you will say limit does not exist. Like two different path is giving different answer, because if limit exists, whatever path you will choose, it will always unique. So that is also one criteria to show limit does not exist. And third criteria is called repeated limit. We will see. So out of these three criteria, you can choose any one of the criteria to show that limit does not exist. For limit exists, only one criteria, that is epsilon delta definition. Yes.
So,
Means if
so one and
these criterion doesn't satisfy, then we can say that limit exists or not.
If it is not, then
If it does not satisfy these criterion for non-existence of limit, will it imply in that limit exists?
no. See what this criteria is saying, that here written for every sequence, if you are able to prove every sequence means your whole life will finish, but you cannot show for all sequences. So that's why we cannot apply. Similarly, this path test, because you don't know how many paths, like in two variable, in single variable, you know left hand and right hand, only two paths, so you will able to show. But this criteria you cannot apply for, even if you want to show for limit exist, because you don't know how many paths. Like suppose someone is took path y equal to x, like according to the straight line it is moving. You check the limit. Suppose the point is given 0, 0 origin, x goes and y goes to 0, 0. If this, then someone took y equal to x line, someone took this line y equal to x square. This is also passing through 0, 0. So all paths, like all curve or all path, or this is one path, we don't know what is the exact function this. So if you able to show for all that, you cannot show. So that's why we are using this as a non-existence of limit. Is that clear? So even if you want to apply for showing limit, you cannot apply, because you cannot show for all type of path. Like suppose you choose 10 path, all are giving same answer, then you cannot say that limit exists, because there might be exist some 11th path, according to that limit will be different. We don't know. So all we cannot cover. But if you choose two paths and both are giving different answer, is that it is clear that limit does not exist, because if limit exists, all paths will have the same answer. So that's why this criteria we are using as a non-existence criteria of the limit, not as a existence criteria. I hope it is clear to everyone. So this criteria came as like left hand limit and right hand limit. Similar here in the path. How we'll do, we'll see the example. So like this example, the question is that this limit exists or not, or what if it is the limit exists, then what will be the limit. So can you give me one path? So here it is written one sequence, like for sequential criteria if you want to apply. So 1 by n and 1 by n I here took. This is a sequence. So how you will choose the sequence? You have to give the sequence which will converge to 0, 0, and that sequence in the 2 variable. So we know 1 by n is also going to 0 into 0. So definitely this sequence will goes to 0, yes or no? 1 by n, 1 by n, this sequence is going to 0,
Yes.
0. So what is the value of this function at this f of xn, yn? So this is xn, this is yn. So f of xn, yn will be what? If xn and yn, so according to this definition, if x equal to y, its value is 1. If it is not equal to y, its value is x plus y. Since both sequence have the same value 1 by n, both are equal, so the function value will come 1. Right? That means if limit according to this sequence is 1, if you are able to find another sequence such that its limit is not 1, then we will say that limit does not exist. So can you give me one another sequence over this functional value is not 1?
So 1 by n, 1 by n square.
1 by n, 1 by n square. Yes, then what you will get? So he says 1 by n. Let us see it will work or not. One sequence you can take anything, but another sequence, yeah, definitely this sequence is going to 0, 0. So we can choose this sequence. But if you calculate the functional value f of xn, yn, this, it is going to L or not? Like what is the value of f of 1 by n, 1 by n square? Because 1 by n and 1 by n square is not equal. So we can say that this will be, what is the value of this? According to this definition,
1 by n plus 1 by n square.
Yeah, 1 by n plus 1 by n square, and it is going to 0. As n tends to infinity, this is 0, this is 0, so it is going to 0. This is not equal to 1. So that means this function doesn't have a limit at 0, 0. So this will work. So one example, no need to think, but another example, whatever answer will come from the first example, that you have to think, so that it will give some different answer. Is it okay? This is sequential criteria. Like here, if you choose even this sequence also, this is also going to 0, but if you apply the functional value x plus y, that is my 1 by n and minus 1, it is giving 0, which is not equal to this. That means limit does not exist. Because this criteria says that if it is exist, for all sequence the value will be L. But see here we are able to find two different sequence which have the different limit. That means limit does not exist. For example, this, can you tell what will be the limit of this function at 0, 0? It is exist or not? So we'll take the sequence. Again we'll take the sequence 1 by n and 1 by n. So this is the one sequence I am taking. This is one, sorry. So this is going to 0, 0. Now let us check its functional value will goes to where. So both are equal. 1 by n is 0 or not, it is non-zero, so we'll apply this definition to check the functional value. So in the top it will give 1 upon n square, in the bottom it will give 2 upon n square. Answer will come 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is a constant sequence, it is converging to half. So give me another sequence over this, the value will not come half. If it will not come half, then limit does not exist. So for one sequence, limit is half. For another sequence, what will be the value?
1 by n, 2 by n.
Yeah, 1 by n, 2 by n you can choose. So why I am taking 1 by n? Because here 0, 0, it is converging to 0, 0. That's why it is, so 2 by n. This is going to 0, 0, but if you calculate the value f of xn, yn, so if you put 1 by n and 2 by n, in the top it will come 2 by n square, at the bottom it will come 1 by n square plus 4 by n square, so total 2 by 5. So these both are different, That means limit does not exist. So this is the sequential method to show that limit does not exist. So showing limit does not exist is very easy as compared to showing the limit exists, because limit exists means you have to follow epsilon delta definition. So
Sir,
like
here
this
it is
two,
given is not
yes,
equal to 0, 0. Sir, here
what?
it is given xy is not equal to 0, 0.
Yeah,
So
that means
why we
x
take,
and y cannot be, both cannot be 0, 0. That is the meaning. If it is 0,
so,
0, then value is 0. Yes.
so why we take 1 by n? This limit is tending to 0, na?
So the question is limit xy goes to 0, 0 equal to f of xy. This limit exists or not? So we need a sequence which will converge to 0, 0. So this 1 by n is 1 by n. This sequence is going to 0, 0. Up to that, I think no doubt.
Okay.
Then you have to calculate the functional value will goes to which number if this is the sequence. This converging to this, but fxy converging to what? Fxy converging to half. Similarly, for another sequence, this is going to 0, 0, again 0, 0, but its limit is different. That is 2 by 5. So that means this limit does not exist. Is it okay?
So we have to randomly choose
Yes, sir.
of two pairs of sequences.
Yes, you have to show at least 2, and both should be different. Then only limit does not exist. Like both will same, then you cannot say anything, because if limit exists for all sequence, answer will come same. So you get at least 2 sequence which have the different answer. That means limit does not exist. So this is the first criteria, that is called sequential criteria. Now we'll see the path test. So like this example we are doing by path test, same, xy by x square plus y square, same. So this is by sequence criteria. Now we'll do by path. So I choose the path y equal to mx. That means either you can do like this, or you can choose 2 different paths. One is y equal to x, this is one straight line. Another you can choose y equal to 2x, that is also a straight line. Both are passing through 0, 0. Here it is written xy goes to 0. So this is the path which is going to 0, 0. Like you have to give a function, sorry, a curve which is passing through 0, 0. So this line is passing through 0, 0. Even you can take y equal to mx square also, that is also passing through 0, 0. So here if you take y equal to mx, just put y equal to mx here in this. Along this path here, if you put mx, you will get the answer is depend on m. Like this limit is coming m by 1 plus m square. If you put y equal to mx here, this x square will cancel out. So you will get m by 1 plus m square. So this limit is depends on path. That means if you take y equal to 1x, then answer will come different. If you take y equal to 5x, definitely answer will come different. So according to the path, limit is changing. So that means limit does not exist. It is same as that left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. But here there is no left and right hand, there are path. So for every different path you are getting different answer. That means limit does not exist. Is that clear? Like you can show like this sequence. First, like you can write, take a path y equal to x. Y equal to x, that means you will get answer 1 by 2. Then take another path y equal to 5x. If m equal to 5, you will get a different limit. Then you will say, when I choose path y equal to x, I got answer half. If I choose y equal to 5x, I got answer not equal to half. That means limit does not exist. Is it clear?
Yes, sure.
Now this question, can you tell me what path you will choose so that limit does not exist? So that means you have to think about path. For not showing, yeah, you have to choose y equal to mx square. If you choose y equal to x or y equal to mx, it will not work. So when you choose y equal to mx square, then this will give answer 2x square y equal to mx square x to the power 4 plus m square x to the power 4. So x to the power 4 will cancel out, you will get this much. It is depending on m. So once you will take m equal to 1, limit will come different. If you take m equal to something 5, 3 or 2, limit will come different. That means this limit does not exist. It depends on path. But if limit exists corresponding to all path, it should be same. But in this case, it is depending on the path. That means it is depending on the m. So this is path dependent. That means limit does not exist. So if you do more practice of the problem, you will come to know how to choose path actually. Maximum time y equal to mx and mx square will work. For some cases, you have to think something else. So here I have wrote non-existence. That means by sequential criteria, take two sequence so that limit not equal. That means limit does not exist. Path test also the same thing. Take two different path so that limit is not equal. That means limit does not exist. Now the third one is the repeated limit. That we have already seen that in the beginning only. Like this question, if this limit is same as this limit, so now can you tell me what is the answer of this question mark? So I will write this number 1 and number 2. Is it is true? 1 and 2, 1 is true or 2 is wrong? Like this is equal to this, but this is not equal to this. So what is your answer?
The first one is equal, then second one not equal.
Second, we have already seen one example in the beginning only. So we got two different answer. Like this one. In this case, we are getting answer 1. In this case, once we'll interchange the limit, we are getting a different answer, right? Limits, and this is called simultaneously or double limit, because both are converging to x naught comma y naught simultaneously. Here first y will converge to y naught, then x is converging to x naught. So this is called repeated limit. So this is the repeated limit, this is also repeated limit, and this is called double limit. So repeated limits, there are two type of repeated limit in this case. Like if x, y, z is there, then we can interchange the order, we can find much more as compared to two repeated limits. So in this case, this is not equal. We have seen the example. So like consider this example, and I want to show that what will happen repeated limits and double limit in this case. So here this one is coming 0, this one is coming 1, and if for this limit, if you take y equal to mx, this limit exists or not? If you take path y equal to mx, is this limit exist?
No, sir.
The answer
No.
so limit doesn't exist because
No,
it depends on path. So for this example, this doesn't exist. It is coming 0, it is coming 1. So that means these both question marks are not valid. That means all cannot be. This is the example. See this 0, 1, and when limit is also not exist. See, limit is not exist, but this is exist.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir.
So the conclusion of this that like in this one. So I'm saying that here double limit means this limit does not exist, but repeated limit exists. In this example, exist means this is coming 0, it is coming 1, but both are not equal. So that means this is also not true, this is also not true. Is that clear?
Sir, is it
Now,
always
Sir,
not
so we
true
cannot-
or only for that case?
Yeah, if one case it is failed, that means you cannot say it is always true. Always means for all case it should be true. Like for all example it should work, for all function it should work.
No, sir, I'm saying for every function, this is always not equal to. Like double limit is never equal to repeated limit.
Right. I'm saying that if repeated limit exists, we cannot say that the functional limit will also exist by this example. Or if double limit exists, it may happen that this repeated limit is not exist. So both way it is not true. But both can be equal. That we don't know for some function. Like if you take a function x plus y, then this will give 0, this will also give 0, this will also give 0. All are giving equal answer. but that is not true always, right?
Okay, sir.
So for this example, this is coming 0, this is coming 0, both are exist, both are equal, but limit does not exist by y equal to mx. So that means repeated limits anyway, there is no use to check that limit exists or not. Yes or no? See, it is exist also, equal also, but actual limit doesn't exist. In this case, it is exist but not equal, then also limit doesn't exist. Like see this function here, if you put x tending to 0 here, this will come 0, it will remain y, and as y tends to 0, answer will come 0. But if you apply y tends to 0, this sine 1 upon y doesn't exist, so this is doesn't exist. Even if you apply x tending to 0, it doesn't exist. So in this case, only one repeated limit exists, but another doesn't exist. So can you say that what about this function? It has a limit or not at 0, 0? Repeated limit, one limit exists, one is not exist also. So can we say that this function has a limit or not?
No, sir.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes, it has a limit. So if you write fxy minus f0 0 by epsilon definition, then this is fxy, f0 is 0 in this case, because y is 0, so it will come 0, because sine y 1 upon y is bounded, it is mod of x is less than mod of y, and that is always less than epsilon. So either you can do like this or you can like this, because we are finding limit, so this mod of x minus y, this norm is less than delta, that means square root of x square plus y square is less than delta. So instead of this, you can write this is less than delta, this mod y is less than delta, so total 2 delta, which is less than epsilon. So you can choose delta equal to epsilon by 2. That's why I wrote epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2. Is that clear? So you have to find a delta. This minus this is less than delta means x square plus y square is less than delta. That means mod x is less than delta, mod y is also less than delta. So this is delta, this is delta, total 2 delta. It should be less than epsilon. That means delta should be epsilon by 2. So you can choose delta less than epsilon by 2, and that delta will work. That means this limit exists and limit value is 0 in this case. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, means you have to see means double limit and repeated limit. If any one of them exists, then it exists.
No. See, both exist but limit doesn't exist. Why you are saying any one exists? See, both exist but limit doesn't exist. You cannot say anything. So double limit or repeated limit will not give any information about limit exist. See, here it is exist but limit doesn't exist. Even both are not equal. Here it is equal also, but in this case also limit doesn't exist. Here it is doesn't exist but limit exists. So we cannot say anything, right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
So the summary of this, if double limit exists, suppose the actual limit exists, it doesn't imply that repeated limit will also exist. It may exist or may not exist, but if it exists, it is equal. So this is the result. Repeated limit exists, it also doesn't imply that double limit, that means actual limit will exist or not. So these two are useless for us. The third point is very important. If repeated limits are not equal, then we can definitely say that limit doesn't exist. So that criteria will use to show that limit does not exist. If you want to show limit does not exist, find the repeated limits. If both are not equal, then say that limit does not exist. If not equal, then only it is. So what does it mean that? See, in this case, can we say that both are not equal? See, this is one limit, this is one limit. No, because it doesn't exist, so we cannot say that it is equal. So we cannot say anything. In this case, both are equal, we cannot say anything. This result we can apply only if repeated limit exists and both are not equal. Then we will say that the original limit does not exist. So we can apply in this case, the first case, both exist not equal, then no need to check, it is not exist. So this is rarely people are using. So better method is to choose sequential criteria or path criteria. You will get less time to conclude that limit exists or not. So directly you can use either path test or sequential criteria to show that limit does not exist. If you want to show limit exists, then you have to use only epsilon delta definition, because L'Hopital rule will not work. Any other method, whatever you know in the limit, that will not going to work. So in the next class we will discuss the continuity, because once you know the limit, continuity is just similar.
Sir,
Yes.
hello.
Yes.
In the path test, if we put y equal to mx in the limit, and it depends on m, so different m will give different limit values, so it doesn't exist, right?
Yes.
And if it both will be same, then what we can say about that?
Then we cannot say anything. See, whatever I'm saying here, all test. See, if you want to apply sequence, for all sequence, if it is same, then only limit exists. That you cannot prove for all sequence. Similarly, for path, for all path, it should be same. That you cannot prove. So if you want to disprove that limit does not exist, you have to choose path such that both are giving two different paths have the different limit. Like suppose you chosen one path, suppose y equal to mx, it is giving the same answer. You cannot say limit exists. Maybe for y equal to mx square it doesn't exist, because there are different paths, right?
Oh, right.
So for different paths, someone took like a sin x is also passing through 0, 0. Someone took 2 sin x, that is also one kind of path. So you have to choose different path, and that how many paths exist we don't know. So we cannot use path criteria to show limit exists, because for every direction it should come the same answer if limit exists. So that is not practically possible. So that's why we are going to the actual definition. But if you want to show it does not exist, to choose two different paths. If you are able to show this has a different limit, that is guarantee that limit does not exist.